Rune Factory Tides of Destiny or Rune Factory Oceans, whatever you want to call it. This entry is about count 'em, two main characters this time, Aiden and Sonia. I'm not really sure how it's pronounced, but whatever. And you know what? No amnesia trope this time. Oh my goodness, this game is getting pretty spicy. Anyway, I don't want to get into the plot too much because there is honestly a massive amount of story to go through. But you know how I said I was excited that we got to play as two main characters? Well, that's only half true. Basically, you have to finish 90% of the game, well, at least 90% of what feels like it, and only after some major plot stuff happens do you finally get to choose whether to play as Aiden or Sonia. You know, after all the cool, important story and events are over and done with. Okay then, good talk. The reason for this is because a mysterious curse traps Sonia's soul inside Aiden's body. Oh no, where's Sonia's real body, you ask? Well, there's a bad guy literally named the Masked Man. Take a wild guess. So for the vast majority of the game, you play entirely as Aiden while Sonia acts as a literal voice inside his head. Honestly, it's gotta be pretty hard to sleep or do your private business when you know there's a girl trapped there inside your mind, like taking a shit. Then we have the marriage candidates. Honestly, they're just okay, not really all that memorable. A big part of that might be because the game uses 3D character models during dialogue cutscenes and it feels so uncanny. I think it would have worked so much better if they stuck to 2D character portraits while the 3D models just hung out in the background. Rune Factory 5 actually did exactly that, which was a great move. Another cool thing I noticed is that the game leans heavily on either Odette or Sonia as the canon endgame wife. Sonia makes sense because obviously she and Aiden spend the entire game sharing a literal brain. There's also this part where you first meet Violet and Sonia says grr but never elaborates. Jealousy? Does Sonia immediately know that Violet has an instant crush on Aiden? Interesting, because that's the only part where we see this happen. But then you have Odette. I love this one specific cutscene where Odette gets incredibly insecure about the scar on her face. I noticed that Odette is the only bachelorette who has unique cutscenes about her scar. I don't know how I triggered it, maybe it had something to do with increasing the friendship meter. I just wandered around town and then it just kinda happened. First, Sonia notices the scar on Odette's face, whereupon Odette panics and explains it happened to her when she was just a kid. In the second cutscene, Aiden hears Odette lamenting about the scar. In the third cutscene, she runs off when she spots Aiden and Bismarck enters. It turns out she wanted to hide her scar using makeup foundation delivered by Bismarck. The last unique cutscene happens even after Aiden and Odette get married. She's still insecure about her scar and questions why she chose her when there are other girls around. It's so cute, man. I haven't seen any of the other heroines get unique cutscenes like this. This really makes Odette special, at least to me. Anyway, the combat on the other hand is fast and flashy. Some critics complained the combat was way too button mashy, but I have to disagree. Yes, it's button mashy if you equip dual blades, which I absolutely love by the way, but you can also use axes, hammers, or long swords, and those require actual timing. They are a lot heavier and slower compared to dual blades, katanas, or spears. Aesthetically, the game looks great, sitting second only to Rune Factory Frontier. However, it doesn't exactly exude that classic cozy and comforting atmosphere. The colors are bright, energetic, and punchy. While Rune Factory Frontier relaxed me, Rune Factory Oceans made me feel like I was walking around a beach in Hawaii. But the absolute least cool thing about this game, the farming. In this entry, you have to tame monsters and they do all the farming for you, and that sucks. I want to farm. I don't want them doing it. I want monsters to drop items, not take my day job. You also get to explore the ocean, hence the incredibly obvious title Rune Factory Oceans, even though it's technically a singular ocean, but whatever. You hop onto a massive stone golem named Ymir, or whatever you want to call it, and trudge across the sea to lift up sunken islands and explore them. The downside is that traveling by golem takes literal in-game days. It gets really stressful because you're constantly worrying whether you're missing a town event or if your crops are currently withering away back home because you don't trust your monsters to do the job. Plus, you can end up in full-on kaiju brawls between Ymir and random giant sea monsters. It's cool at first, but the mechanic definitely overstays its welcome. Like, look, I finally traveled all the way to the sunken island. Don't make me waste any more time dealing with a random encounter. I just want to explore the island. At the end of the day, I love exploring the town and clearing the dungeons, even if the actual ocean traveling takes a bit too long on Ymir. It might not be the cozy farming game I originally expected, but it leans much harder into action and exploration, which, honestly, is totally okay with me. It also has a jump button. It's such a dumb thing to be impressed about, but it's the first Rune Factory game that actually lets you jump. You'll see why when I get there. Oh, hello Rune Factory 5. What you doing over there? How about you jump on out of here? Oh wait, you can't? What the fuck?